Hey scholars! So today we are going to be going over the benchmark essay prompt, and we are going to be discussing how to write an introduction. So this is an essay that you should have already written. You have seen this prompt before, and I am going to be breaking it down for you as you revise this benchmark essay or write it for the first time. So let's get started. So we have this prompt, and it says, read the following quotation. Other people may be there to help us, teach us, guide us along our path, but the lesson to be learned is always ours. Think carefully about the following question. Is it better for people to learn from others, or is it better for people to learn on their own? Write an essay explaining the best way to learn new things. Be sure to clearly state your controlling idea, organize and develop your explanation effectively, choose your words carefully, use correct spelling, capitalization, punctuation, grammar, and sentences. Okay, so you've probably seen this prompt or prompts like this before, but let's break it down. So we have three sections of this prompt. We have our read, think, and write. And each one of these sections helps us to develop our essay. When you look at the read, this kind of prompts you to think about the subject at hand. This quotation here could also be used in your essay if you are struggling to find a quotation. You could use this quotation potentially as an introduction. Think makes you go deeper into the subject. So it gives you a question. Is it better for people to learn from others, or is it better for people to learn on their own? So you're being prompted with a question to think about. Write is your assignment. So it's telling you what you are supposed to write about. And in this case, we're writing about the best way to learn new things. So you could potentially answer this question, but you could also write about the best way to learn new things. You don't necessarily have to answer this question. Is it better for people to learn from others, or is it better for people to learn on their own? You can, but you could also just discuss what you feel is the best way to learn new things. That is the assignment. That is what you're being asked to write about. So now that we've broken down this prompt and we know what our assignment is, to write an essay explaining the best way to learn new things, I am going to show you an essay. So we're going to focus on the introduction right now. So the introduction here for this essay says, learning new things is like a stream of knowledge. Sometimes it's a waterfall, and sometimes it's like a thin trickle of water. So we see here that the start of this introduction uses a simile. And what is a simile? A simile is when we use like or as. In this case, knowledge is being compared to a stream, so they use the word like. It's also being compared to a waterfall, so like a thin trickle of water. Sometimes it can be a waterfall, and sometimes it's like a thin trickle of water. So that's a simile, and it's a great way to start an introduction using figurative language, comparing knowledge to a stream. Second thing we see here says the best way to learn new things is by experience because a hands-on event is easier to remember and it helps with social skills. So here, we're going to break this down. This whole thing is our controlling idea. So I'm going to put here controlling idea. All right. This part of this part here, I'm going to highlight in blue. So this part here is our claim. Oop. Didn't highlight enough. Okay, so the best way to learn new things is by experience. So we have answered the question of the prompt with our claim. If we go back to the prompt, it says, write an essay explaining the best way to learn new things. In this case, the answer to that question is the best way to learn new things is by experience. Imagine, if you will, in this prompt that when it says write an essay explaining the best way to learn new things, maybe it's asking you, what is the best way to learn new things? If you form this part as a question in your mind, that's the question you need to answer. So, the best way to learn new things is by experience. Now we have our because. And I'm going to highlight this with turquoise. Because is asking us why. Why do we have the opinion that we have? Why is our claim what it is? This is the why. Our answer to our why, when we're being asked because, why, are our reasons. So in this case, stating a hands-on event is easier to remember and it helps with social skills. So that's 2 reasons. So we have our reason 1. I'm going to highlight in purple. And we have our reason 2 that I'm going to highlight in this blue. Okay, so the entire thing makes up our controlling idea. We have the best way to learn new things is by experience. That's our claim, that's our topic. That's also our opinion. Okay, so I'm going to say comment, claim, topic, opinion. Everything before the word because in our formula is our claim or our topic or our opinion about the question that's being asked. Everything after the because, which is kind of our why, is our reasons. So we have our reason 1 and reason 2. So the whole thing, as I stated up here, is our controlling idea. And I'm going to edit this. so you can just see. So the format here that's being used, and the format that we've been going over in our class, is claim plus because plus reason 1 plus reason 2. Sometimes you can have 3 reasons, but you definitely need at least 2. Okay, so this is the controlling idea. Notice that the controlling idea is also the last sentence of the introduction. So, I mean, this introduction is kind of short and sweet, to the point, but it uses figurative language with the simile to describe knowledge and learning new things. And we have a very clear controlling idea of what this paper is going to be about. This is the expectation when you're writing an introduction and a controlling idea, that you engage your reader. The introduction should engage your reader, and you should have a very clear controlling idea at the end of the introduction. I hope this helps. I will see you next video.